What's going on, everybody? I'm D-House here with Jim. We're talking Twilight of the Republic, spoilers from set 3. We finally got Jay out of here, and we're ready to keep going. So, Jim, you ready for this?
Yeah. Call me Solus one more time, Jay. You see what happens. Yeah, I'm ready. I miss him greatly. Don't let him hear that.
All right. First up, we've got Rush Clovis. He's a 4-cost ground unit in yellow villain. He's a 3/5 separatist official. Again, wishing Mike was here for my obligatory Emperor's Royal Guard official moment. But he has raid 2 and on attack. If the defending player controls no ready resources, create a battle droid token. And this is a rare. Kind of an interesting effect. We haven't seen something like this before.
Yeah, with the your opponents have all exhausted resources. So I feel like the on attack I'm not playing into that much. Like I'm not building a deck with Rush in it for the sake of that has to hit for me to think this card is good. So it's like I'm mostly looking at this as a separatist 3/5 with raid 2. I think that's pretty good. I think there's a lot of 4/4s at 4 that do something on play that I really like. So yes, this has to wait until the next turn for you to get to raid in for that, but that's killing most units that are already out on the field. Probably staying alive as well.
Yeah.
I feel like you're probably getting too cute if you're trying to wait for that on attack to trigger, but you could also make some really uncomfortable decisions for your opponent. But yeah, like I said, trying to plan for that's not great. If you have a way to give this ambush, way better. But if you can get one battle droid out of that, you're feeling great. Like you're not trying to build your entire deck around that plan though.
I made the Emperor's Royal Guard joke, but you could theoretically play the Royal Guard at 3. Drop this on 4, so now you've got Sentinel protecting him. You're I don't know, wasting time doing other things, doing some damage. If they make the mistake of dropping their big thing and they have no resources ready, you create the battle droid token, and now Palp's chomp ready to eat, and you're getting hit with 5 too. So I think this is pretty solid.
Agreed. And like when I play a lot of the rounds, I'm like, I want to get that card out of my hand immediately. So like I want to play my 5-drop and then finish out the rest of my turn. I think in a like pillage deck, this could be really cool as well. Like something that's like messing with their hands. So they want to play the cards, but then they're also getting punished for doing stuff too early. I just think there can be some really cool play patterns with it. But that ability on its own, I'm not building an entire deck around. But of potential 5/5 at 4, that's good stats. So.
All right, next up we've got the Tactical Droid Commander. This is a 5-cost ground unit, yellow villain, 4/4 separatist droid. It's got exploit 2, so could play this for 3 or just 1. When you play another separatist unit, you may exhaust a unit that costs the same as or less than the played unit. I don't really like these types of effects in general. I play something and exhaust something that might be less or equal to. Like I just feel like we've seen that, and it doesn't do much.
It's slow. Yeah, it's very slow, and this isn't something I'm like, oh, I really want to only be playing this at 1. Like you're not looking at these cards and saying that is a 1-cost 4/4, because it, in the same way, like health is a resource that you can utilize your health to get ahead in the game. Using the battle droids is going to be a resource that is common in this set, but there's only so many battle droids that you can create. You don't have this unlimited supply. Even with Clone Wars, there's like the card, there's a limited number of things that you can create. So I'm probably not super excited to be playing this to get rid of 2. I think even an exploit deck, it's not super likely. But
this actively feels bad if you're paying 5 for it, right? Like you're like, if that's your only option, that's just not good. But if you're paying 3 for it and just knocking a battle droid off, it's like, okay, 3, 4, 4, 4. That seems decent enough. If you happen to have 2 battle droids out and you're paying 1 for it, sure. I mean, but I don't know. I don't think this is that good, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I like the tags separatist and droid. We've already seen a lot of things that are trying to synergize with those traits. So this can maybe fit in, but I think this is also going to be a card that just kind of typically just gets cut.
All right. We've got Zero the Hutt. We're finally branching out into the Hutt theme. I'm just waiting for the set that's just all Hutts. Like just straight up just Hutt family, the Hutt set. So Hopefully that
Good for them.
comes at some
I want
point.
the Hut lore on full display.
Okay, we got 5-cost ground unit in yellow villain. It's a 2/8 underworld and Hut. See, again, they have the Hut tag, so you know it's got to come at some
That's
point.
right.
When played, for each opponent, you may exhaust a unit that player controls, and on attack, for each opponent, you may exhaust a resource that player controls. This card has my favorite 3 words twice for each opponent, meaning Twin Suns.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's make some enemies. Let's mess with some plans. Oh.
And this is how you get 4th place in Twin Suns.
I love it though, man. I just dropping this on the table and getting the reaction from everybody. That is fantastic. I'm here for it.
I do like the on attack ability as well. Like you get to that next round and you've already kind of mentally built out like what you want your turn to look like. The guaranteed exhaust a resource is pretty cool. Yeah, because it's like they get to 8 resources, they're about to play their 8 drop. You're like, nope, I have the initiative. I'm going to attack with this first. They just can only play up to 7. So you're putting them behind an entire turn that way. And 2/8 is a lot to chew through. I know it's not killing a lot of things in return, but that's just an annoying, you don't really want to kill this thing.
Yeah.
So the win plate is fine. I like that it at least probably gets to stay alive until the next turn, and then they have to make some weird decisions around what to do with this. And it says just a unit. It doesn't say non-leader unit. So they play their leader, and you just get to exhaust it right away. That's good, especially with keeping a 2/8 on board with it. So I do think this card's going to see play. I don't know to what capacity, but
yeah,
man, this is annoying.
And it's got the underworld tag. We don't have a ton of that in this set to go back to set 2. So, Cad Bane stuff, McClunky if you want to. I don't know if that's what you really wanted to be doing, but you could. I mean, if she's about to die, you just call it back, and they've been chewing through all that health for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I can't wait for Hut's armor in this set to come through.
That's good.
Nice little 4/10 with remove 2 damage. So
all right, Wartime Profiteering. It's a 1-cost yellow villain event. Look at cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of units that were defeated this phase. Draw 1 and put the others on the bottom of your deck in a random order.
Yeah, interesting.
This is one of those cards I have to read twice just to make sure I understand.
There's a lot of text, but it's intuitive, I think.
Like, is this really what exploit decks want?
Sort of, yeah. It's weird because you just exploited to play something, so it's not like I can kill those 3 units and then draw an exploit card to then like utilize with those things that you just killed. So the only thing that's weird to me about this is if you've already lost a lot of units that round, you're probably pretty late into the round and don't have many resources left. So I'm not like able to go like kill 8 of my units, look at 8 cards, find that like perfect 4 cost. Like I'm probably already out of resources, but this does set up your next turn really well for what you're wanting to play. So only costing 1 for the sake of getting that card that you're wanting to play is nice. Especially if like you need a super laser blast or some sort of control mechanic, you get that exact card that you need, or at least you're much more likely to get it. So this to me feels like a really good control card, but I'm not usually going wide on board.
That's why I feel like this is going to be a pay 1, draw 1. Like you're just exchanging a card. I don't see the value here because of the fact that you rarely lose multiple units in a single turn. So I think it
does allow for more combo centric plays. Like if you're looking for Zekis and Forlom. Yep. Like you're more likely to pull that technically. So if you're wanting to build your deck more combo dependent, this gives you some flexibility to do that. It's good. I do think there's at some point in time this card's going to get really, really good. May not be this set, but it's one that I'm always going to come back to and be thinking about.
Meh. That's my official response.
Good response.
Okay. We've got an upgrade. We've got Jetpack again. My favorite card. Just kidding. It's a 2-cost card called On Top of Things. It's yellow. It gives +2/+0. It is a trick, and it says when played, attached unit can't be attacked this phase unless it has Sentinel. So the first question is, why not just play Jetpack? To which you would respond.
Okay, no, let's do it.
There we go. I knew it was coming.
That's right.
Yeah, so with Jetpack, you get +2/+0, same cost, but you got Smuggle and at 4, and then you get the Shield. The Shield does not stop the attack, so it could, and the Shield goes away at the end of the round too, just like this. The one thing this does have on Jetpack is obviously you can play this on space units, so you could drop this on your fire spray and just keep hitting hard if you really want to.
It doesn't have Smuggle, which Jetpack does have, so like we do need to talk about that. I like this though in some aggro based decks. Like if I'm looking at red, yellow Sabine, I look at, oh gosh, I'm blanking on the name, the Saboteur 3/4. Every time you play a red card, deal a damage.
Fighters for Freedom.
I play this in Fighters for Freedom. I'm feeling good. I know this isn't a red card,
I was like, wait,
so it feels like it's anti-synergy.
Yeah.
I hear that, but protecting a Saboteur unit is like you're going through all of their Sentinel things. So it's going to be going for face. You're now giving this +2 attack, and it's staying on board for the next turn. So it's likely to get to do something else the next turn there too. So I really do like this card more for aggressive matchups. Because as they would rather be attacking into your units, and they just can't.
Yep.
So I think that's cool, and the +2 stays. So if they can't kill it with their first action the next turn, you're getting an additional +2.
Yeah.
So I do like it. It gives a lot of flexibility. You can play this on a leader as well for the leaders that need to stay out on the board, which is really cool.
Just play Chirrut.
Just play Chirrut,
Yeah,
people.
you can't die.
Wake up.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. All right. The Savage thing, I thought when I saw Trick that you could fish this out with Jabba, but Jabba is Trick events, not Tricks. I was thinking, if Jabba could get this and play it for one cheaper.
They've thought of everything,
They did.
unfortunately.
They ruined all my plans. All right, we've got the Count Dooku leader, everybody. Here we go. All right, so on leader side, he's got an action exhaust. Play a Separatist card from your hand. It gains exploit 1, which is pretty sweet. The epic action, of course, flipping on 7 into a 5/9. He has the Force, Separatist, and Sith tags. He's got Overwhelm. And on attack, the next Separatist card you play this phase gains exploit 3. So,
Yeah.
wow. So he's got 1 health more than Vader at the same 7 cost flip, He's got Overwhelm. He's got ways to sneak things out for very cheap. Call me crazy, but I think this might be okay.
I agree. And exploit 4 on the flip turn potentially is nuts. Would those stack? I would assume they would stack.
No, you have to play the card when you do the action.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
You couldn't do that.
Dang. Okay, this card's trash. No, 5/9 Overwhelm is nutty. So, like, Vader's already like the mid control style, doing a lot of ping, doing a lot of cool things there. Obviously, like, this is very dependent on if Separatist cards are good, but this as a like leader unit is so good with stats. Obviously has the Force tag on it, which that is not common in green, so giving some flexibility there is great. Yeah, I'm excited for what this card can do. I think it's going to be a menace this set.
Yeah, there's just some crazy stuff that you're going to be able to do with this. Like, even just the fact that it's Force tag, immediately, obviously, Force throw is interesting. You could have Force throw in there and very consistently throw your own cards, your high cost cards, for massive damage if you're going for a Force theme, knowing that you're going to get a lot of those cards out for cheaper if they're big Separatist cards, obviously.
Yeah.
But
and green does have recursion, so it's like that's not unreasonable to end up getting that card back at some point.
Yep. Yeah. So Dooku's interesting. Dooku's going to be a fun one to mess around with. I feel like so much of like green villain is, well, palp this, palp that, and then we saw a little bit of Tarkin yellow with the TIE Phantom, but we've seen no Moff Gideon. We've seen, gosh, I can't remember the other green villain leaders. Gideon.
Oh, Hondo.
I mean, we've seen some Hondo, but that's like a very specific.
Yeah.
So,
you got Jabba.
Yeah, and obviously we're not seeing Jabba.
Yeah.
This feels like a good spot. So I'm excited for Dooku.
Yeah. No, same. I think it'll be sweet.
All right, speaking of separatist stuff, we've got the Droid Commando, 3 cost, ground unit, green villain, 4. It's a 4/3 with separatist droid trooper. While you control another separatist unit, this unit gains ambush.
Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, open fire is still a classic. You're paying 3 to deal 4 damage. With this ambush, if all it's doing is dealing that 4 damage to a unit, you're probably fine with it. But if it can stick around, even better.
Yep.
So I think it's fine. It's probably dying to most things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But coming down at 3 is great. I mean, we're playing a lot of 4/4 ambush cards. So 4/3 for 1 less. Sign me up.
Yep. This kills Yodas and Sabines with without dying. So
That's right.
I think this is a solid little droid. Next up, we've got the Vanguard Droid Bomber, 2 cost red space unit. It's a 2/2 separatist droid vehicle fighter. When played, if you control another separatist unit, deal 2 damage to an enemy base.
It's fine. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with this card, but doing that extra damage on top of it is just fine sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
I normally don't like 2 cost units that you don't want to play first turn.
That's fair.
But there, I mean, if Jay was here, I'd say, is this going in your Kylo deck? You'd have to play a lot of separatist stuff in there to make it worth it.
It may not, but yeah, something about like getting that extra damage on the front like end is sometimes just what you need.
Yeah.
So the other ones that do that like have smuggles, so it's kind of you can always keep that ability of like a cheeky 1 damage from your resource pool. So this one you do have to draw late. I think probably for the most part this is going to be just a limited kind of card to close out the game, but we might see some separatists play with it. We'll see, but I'm not thrilled about it. The card.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, 4 causes played, and that's 3 costs for up to 4 damage. 2 costs for 2
kind of thing.
But you could also just run Daring Raid and play 1 to do 2. So I don't know.
Yep.
All right, here's a big one. 8 cost.
Spicy.
Space unit, the Invisible Hand. It's a rare. It's a 4/7 separatist vehicle capital ship. When played, create 4 battle droid tokens. On attack, exhaust any number of friendly separatist units, which are battle droids, by the way. Deal 1 damage to the defending player's base for each unit exhausted this way. Wow. So basically we just need to ambush this.
Right.
So we got to get Wedge in there.
But the battle droids come in exhausted.
Deal to for each unit. You have to exhaust. Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
Yes.
Reading is important.
So that's where this card's interesting to me. If you're playing this to then get to exploit 3 of those to get like a 6 drop in for free, I'm liking this quite a bit. Because I'm looking at the stats, I'm like, okay, essentially they're saying if I were to exhaust those 4 battle droids, I could technically attack for 8. Obviously, if you had way more than that, you could attack for infinite damage to just do a little 1-turn KO, which is Happy Fantasyland, which would be so fun. So, I don't know. This one's tough for me. 4/7 for 8 is not good stats. But making 4 battle droids on play to use the exploit 3 to probably play something for free means that I could reasonably see this getting play. I don't know. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking like, okay, if Dooku's given this exploit 3, you're killing, on the 8 resource turn, Dooku's attacking. Now you can play this exploit 3. You can play this for 2. You kill 3 battle droids, but you get 4 back. I don't know. That's very expensive.
It's to be determined.
It's very expensive.
I think what I've noticed about a lot of the capital ships is like if there's this inevitability of like, dang it, they got to their capital ship, they're gonna win this game. Like when I see Relentless come down, they've played Relentless because they know like they are gonna win now because I can't do anything to like actually kill that thing. Or Devastator or Avenger, like those are cards that you're playing to win the game on the spot. I don't know if this wins the game on the spot, so it's just to be determined with the droids, exploit, synergy.
Yeah.
How much is that like a now we're about to win this thing?
Yep. Now you could, I was just thinking that the Christophsis exploit 4 card, the 15 cost blue one, where this immediately makes it possible to follow up this turn with the Christophsis card.
Yeah.
But
good luck. I wish you the best.
Yeah, there we go. All right, we got 1 cost blue event. I have the high ground. Choose a friendly unit. Each enemy unit gets -4/-0 while attacking that unit this phase. Absolute phenomenal art, flavor, theme.
Card.
So good.
Oh yeah.
It's like they still can't
Oh, yeah.
attack. They just can't attack for that much more.
So obviously you're calling a sentinel unit, or if you just have that leader out, that's like they need to instantly kill. Sure. Honestly, like even in like Boba Yellow, I'm kind of excited to play this card. Sorry, Boba Blue.
I was like, whoa, what?
Villain Boba Blue. I'm excited to play this card because you deploy Boba and then they can't do anything to actually kill it, and so you're getting the +2 and all sorts of shenanigans will ensue from there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think,
for protecting that unit, it's sick.
Yeah, I think it may, if you can get Chilton out there and then just drop this, and they, they basically can't kill Chilton. You could, in some ways, almost time walk them in a whole turn because they just can't do anything about this Chilton thing. So
Yeah,
it's pretty feisty.
Pretending that means that they're going to actually attack into your Sentinel unit is silly. That just means they're not going to attack, which means they're probably going to take the initiative token.
Right.
So you have to understand that it's like this isn't killing 4 of their units and not taking any damage. They just choose not to attack.
Yep.
And so, yes, like you just said, it's keeping like a Chilton type of unit alive for another turn so that you can build up the board behind it.
Yep.
But that's still really good.
Yeah. Yeah, where I thought about this, in a lot of decks that I play, I like to play Baze, Malbus, and grab that initiative if I can. But I was thinking, if I'm on the 5 resource turn, and I know it's a Boba turn, if I can play, there's stuff like Waylay and Cunning and stuff like that. So this isn't perfect. But if I can drop Baze and hit, I have the high ground on the Boba flip turn. I mean, it really does just. They go, oh. Okay, let's just go to the next round and they'll claim the initiative and they'll move on or whatever. It might not be good enough, but if I'm just trying to get further on so I can get some, if it's the real aggro version of Boba. But again, there's Bounce and Cunning and Waylay and things like that. So
I have a funny question that I think I intuitively know the answer to, but like if they do bounce my unit back and I play it back down, it's pretending to be a different unit at this point, right? Like this isn't the stat effect that would stay up.
Yep, it's a new unit at that point.
Cool.
Yep. All right, we got a 2-cost unit, space unit, a green villain Confederate Courier. It's a 2/1 separatist vehicle fighter. When defeated, create a battle droid token. So we saw this.
It just does look like a sliced orange behind it, but it's fine.
All right, so we kind of saw this on the ground side. It was that 1/3 blue, and when defeated, create a battle droid token. But I don't know. What do you think?
It's funny that like you're killing this space unit and then it's like falling to the ground
it just shoots out a battle droid.
And it's like, oh my gosh, I survived. Let's join the fight like nothing happened. I like this one a lot more because it's dealing the damage and like it's dealing 2 damage every attack. So it's like you just do have to answer this at some point.
Yep.
Obviously you can exploit this and then with another card exploit the battle droid as 2 separate things, but your opponent is more likely to have to respond to this because it's dealing that 2 damage every single time. That's just, it can't take that free damage.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I like this card.
Yeah, I think it's decent. Palp goes chomp chomp.
That's right.
Like
as
he likes
Palp
to do.
does.
Yes. All right. We've got, this is interesting. 2-cost Mas Ameda. I don't know if that's how you say it. I know this character. I've just never known how to say the name. But it's a 2-cost ground unit. It's double green. So it's been a while since we saw some double colored ones. This is a 0/4 Republic official. When you play another unit, you may exhaust this unit. If you do, search the top 4 cards of your deck for a unit, reveal it, and draw it. It's rare.
Yeah.
So
just weird card. Essentially, it's like, okay, Pershing is deal damage to a unit to draw a card. And it's a 0/5 for 2. So this is now
and
having
blue.
the double...
And blue villain.
And blue. This is the double color, so it's supposed to be stronger in theory, but it's
Right,
now
so this can go in your Hera Green deck, Jim.
That's right. Good point about the Hera Green. So you can exhaust this to search for... that's a really convoluted card draw, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
It's also like weird because like when you play another unit, so it means that you're down on resources. So like feels like another card that it's like it works if you have a lot of lower cost cards to be able to like flood out. Like that's why you're wanting to essentially draw 3 cards instead of 2 cards each turn.
Mm-hmm. And card advantage is a thing in this game. I mean, pillage.
It is.
Pillage has been a problem for a lot of control decks. So I don't know. I mean, like, okay, if you're running this in Palp as an official, you drop this turn 1 in green Palp, and turn 2 you got Royal Guard. You've got your Sentinel going. You're getting more cards. You're digging to your Vaders and Reinforcement Walkers and Mauls and Relentless and all the things.
Yeah, this game doesn't move at a speed where you can stack the bottom of your deck yet, but something like this does allow for that to happen, where you actually know the bottom, potentially 9 to 12 cards of what's coming up. Like, yes, they're going to be slightly shuffled, so you're not going to know the exact order, but to at least have an idea for, like, okay, what's at the bottom of my deck. That hurts my brain.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this is why I quit Flesh and Blood right there.
Flesh and Blood, that is a very common strategy of every card that you resource would go to the bottom of your deck.
Yeah.
And so as you're playing through, you get back to those cards. And so the best players would have those memorized. It's
crazy.
hard.
Yeah.
But this is a potential strategy to get something like that, where you know these next 2 cards plus this one, like, it can get really funky and really weird. I don't think this game is going to go that route.
Yeah.
But just searching 4 cards for a unit is still pretty good. Like, you are very, very likely to hit a unit. Most decks that aren't super unit or super event heavy are probably 70% units, roughly. I'm usually like in the 35-ish range for total number of units. Mm-hmm. Out of the 50 card deck. So yeah, roughly 70 to 75% probably. So you're going to find a unit that you can draw. So it's like, if you play a unit, you can do that, which is great. Yeah. They don't really want to attack into this because they're wasting damage to come at you, but I don't know. It's still just weird.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That'll do it for the spoilers today. There may have been more when we were recording, but we're trying to keep up with all the Twilight Republic stuff. So everybody, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.
Bye, y'all.